Doris Duke was named the richest girl in the world when she inherited a fortune of billions of dollars at the age of 12. However, she is a prime example of the saying, having money does not mean being able to buy happiness. When she passed away, it seemed that she hadn't found someone who truly loved her yet. All of the people who came to her life just for money. The richest girl in the world. Doris Duke was born on November 22, 1912, in New York City, USA, into a wealthy family. At the age of 12, Doris Duke inherited a $100 million fund from her father. In 1962, she continued to receive an additional of $250 million in inheritance when her mother died. Before turning 40, she had a fortune of up to $3 billion USD, becoming the second richest person in the US. Difficult love road. At the age of 10, at dinner, her father bluntly told his daughter, "No matter what you do or where you go, people will only love your money." These words became the words that haunted Doris Duke until the last days of her life. And the old saying worked when she had an extremely unlucky love line. In her first marriage to James Cromwell, a power-hungry miner, he used her money to run for the U.S. Senate but failed. Their marriage soon fell apart after that. Doris once confided to a friend that sometimes a huge fortune is a burden. In 1947, Doris remarried Porfirio Robirosa, a diplomat from Romania. However, this man had a family already. Because Doris loved him so much that she met Robirosa's wife and gave her $1 million on the condition that she quickly divorced her husband. Then the wife immediately agreed. But this $1 million marriage only lasted 1 year because Doris' new husband was a world-class liar when he went back and forth with a series of famous stars. However, Doris' feelings for Porfirio gradually cooled down, not because of this. It was because, after the divorce, Porfirio remarried her nemesis, Barbara Hutton. Since they were both children of the richest families in the world, these two were often compared with each other. Even so, Doris Duke can be proud that she was still the winner because Porfirio and Barbara's marriage lasted only 52 days. Later, Doris also had many other famous mistresses. Life full of interests and scandals. With a huge inheritance, Doris could almost do whatever she wanted. During World War II, Doris worked in an army canteen in Egypt, worked as a reporter abroad, and even moved to Paris to write magazines. While living in Hawaii, Doris became the first woman to compete in professional surfing. Doris also loves animals and worked hard to learn how to grow rare and exotic flowers. She also owns a priceless collection of pendants in the style of Southeast Asian art and Islam. Actually, Doris Duke lived an interesting but controversial life. In 1966, the curator of her art collections, Eduardo, quit his job to become a designer. According to many employees, Doris and Eduardo had a heated argument just hours before the two got into the car and left. At that time, Eduardo was the driver, and he got out of the car to open the gate. While changing seats in the car, Doris accidentally released the brake and pressed the accelerator. The car sped forward, killing Eduardo. After the investigation, the police declared the death to be an accident. In the end, Eduardo's family was only compensated $75,000. Using all assets for charity. After 2 unhappy marriages, Doris Duke never remarried again. She also didn't have any children. However, in 1984, Doris met a woman named Chandy Hafen in Hawaii. The two immediately felt the same spirit. Doris and Chandy traveled around the world together, enjoying a rich life. They bought a Boeing 737 worth $25 million. In 1988, Doris shocked others when she decided to adopt 25-year-old Chandy as her adopted daughter. She also promises to distribute the property to Chandy when she died. However, all of Doris' intentions for Chandy changed when she met Bernard Lafferty. Bernard is an Irish orphan who moved to America at the age of 35. Doris hired him as her housekeeper and became the closest person to her for the rest of her life. In 1993, Doris died at the age of 80. At the time, her property was worth $5.3 billion. According to the will, most of Doris' fortune will be given to charity. Today, the Doris Duke Foundation is managing approximately $2 billion in assets. Within 30 years of its existence, the foundation has raised $3.8 billion, but surprisingly, Chandy didn't receive any money from her adoptive mother. She sued the court and received $65 million. Alright, it's the end for today's video. See you later.